Testing, testing. I think we're good to go. Let me just this up a little bit here. Hey, how's it going? Good evening, everyone. Um, Tonight it's gonna be me here, Cam. We're gonna be talking about AML tonight. Shurima Group, ETP versus Son Shadow Wizard Money Gang. So just getting things started here. Um, so tonight I'm just gonna be chilling here, bringing up the game for you guys. We are going to. I'm just waiting for draft stuff. The team is still setting in the lobby. In the meantime, we can get to talk a little bit about the two teams. This is Shurima Group, so and unfortunately we're talking about the two teams fighting for the last place as of now. Both teams are 0-2 coming to week 3. Eclipsing Tides, Penumbral do have a game advantage um, compared to Shadow Wizard, so they are ahead. Give me 1 second. I do need to talk with. Okay, so we're actually going to use the Aegis game log for the two teams to get like a little bit of how they're doing so far, because they had played 4 games so far. Um, ATP actually played 5 games because it was like, wait, it doesn't have it. Oh yeah, so 5 games for ATP, 4 games for Shadow Wizard. Now from the side of Shadow Wizard, what I am expecting to see, um, or what I'm expecting, yeah, overall, I guess I can say expected to see. So Wukong, Ornn have been two picks that have been a bit repeated. On the top side, on the bottom side, I would say the Renata has showed up a couple times, um, but still not much games for the side of Shadow Wizard that they repeated many champions. The bends against them is actually interesting. We have more repetitions. We have a couple Aatroxes. We have Ornn a couple times. We have the Fiora as well a couple times for basic. Um, Also, Ari being banned. Ari and Cider being banned twice for the mid lane. Diego's taking LP. So a couple strong picks to keep an eye on, and also 2 Draven bans on Gumayusi. Oh, actually, sorry, 2 Draven ban on Gumayusi that played last week, and on week 1 when Voltage was playing, he got himself an Ezreal ban. Hey, Unpopularity, thanks for coming. Um, we're gonna cover here week 3. Still waiting for things to about the draft, but we're gonna be just talking a little bit about these teams, what they have showed in the past weeks. The only change that I see, okay, so the actual change that we see from week 1 to week 2 is Gumayusi started on the jungle and swapped for ADCs, and Hunter Wolfsteal came in as of last week. So the couple changes here. Okay, so it looks like we're just waiting for the mid laner from the side of Son. So we can continue to talk a little bit about what to expect. So let's see. So from the side of Eclipse Tides, I definitely want to see more of a change on the team. I think they had a couple good performances, and they have shown like a consistent draft. But yeah, sounds good, man. Just being here, it's much appreciated. So do what you gotta do. But if you wanna share, come in, say hi, or say anything, feel free to use the chat. I'll definitely see you, and we'll be talking a bit about it. But yeah, so from the side of the DP, I would like we're seeing a lot of targets on the jungle. There's like they're always banning the mastery from Source Walker. He's been known and he's been said to be the one trick pony on mastery. So there's been like a perma ban on that. We've seen a lot of auctions ban, three bans out of the 5 games. A couple Seraphines, Jax appeared like 4 times as well. So I think those are 4 champions that we should be able to see as of men's. And the one thing that I would like to see differently is I want to see, you know, a little bit more about from Ivis Enjoyer. He has showed a couple different picks last week, which was really nice. But I definitely want to see more of him on that carry style instead of getting the Seraphine. I also want to see Jost doing more than just picking the Seraphine. He did a couple times, so I just hope to see. I think they did pretty well overall on some of the games that we watched, but I definitely want to see a little bit more of them to see like because they I feel like they're only applying a specific how should I say this, a specific type of draft. Something else that I wanted to mention is Shadow. So first game we're gonna have ETP Penumbro on blue side and Sun Shadow starting on the red side. The Sun Shadow Wizard team has played 3 matches on the red side and only 1 match on blue side. ETP has played 3 sides on the red side and 2 on the blue side, having the only win so far in the blue side. So hopefully they do get to get another win here. But let's see what's going on chat. So it looks like they're just talking about so they're talking about forgiveness tokens. So, but anyway, we're still waiting for you guys to come in. I think they're just verifying about forgiveness tokens, or because of the mandate, it might we might see some ban losses here in a sec. But just waiting for them to sit down and confirm, and we should be starting draft soon. Couple things that I've did for today is um, so I did update. We just beat our goal, and it was lovely. Thanks for the last follower, Catzilla. Um, we managed to get 100 followers as of today, so really, really pog um, for ET. Now I'm setting my sights on a much higher goal, and I wonder how much we can get and when we'll be able to get it. So the goal is I want to jump from 100 followers to 1,000 followers. So hopefully we can grow our community, reach that level, and engage more the community as we go into these leagues, and try to see if we can get people to join our side to cheer for ET. Right, that's my goal, and let's see what we can do for the as we go with the plan for fall. So outside of that, we're looking to expand in this way, and hope you guys can watch, have a good stream. Pretty much we're gonna be just chilling. I do not have any casters with me tonight, so I'm not like necessarily a caster. So I'm just gonna be chilling, watching the games, and pretty much that, having some fun. And I hope you guys have a good night. Enjoy me today. Um, let's see what's going on here. So I think they're still finishing up the discussion about. Okay, so they're still talking about the ban situation. And in the meantime, what we can talk about is, let me go over um, some of the games, what to expect for this week. So we have all the games for Shurima Group scheduled for tonight, 8 p.m. No changes there. On the Void Group, we have one. Everything is planned to start at 8, but Team Ambition Shogun and Planetary Collision 8:30. Um, we also have all games of Yone starting at 8 p.m. tonight for week 3. And from Ishtal, we technically had we had Sensei Squad Suzano versus Team Ambition Distortion starting at 7:30, a bit earlier, but all the other games to be starting at 8 o'clock. So everything else should be starting pretty soon. And there has been one information that I see from on the chat is looks like IGO versus VIT. That is for Indigo versus Vitico. I don't know how to say this. Viticulture Pinot versus Indigo. Looks like there is an FF for um, the side of Indigo for game one. So we'll keep updated as we get things. Hey, Sailor Cat, how's it going? How are you doing tonight? So just keep a few things updated as we wait for the draft. Okay, so looks like there's still a couple discussions here in the lobby. Not sure what's going on, but there's definitely some delay, so I apologize for that. The players are still discussing a little bit about what's going to happen with the whole ban situation from the side of Shadow Wizard. So as soon as we get more information, I'll share with you guys. And why? Oh, here, team names. Just make sure that team name here is correct. Okay. Okay, that's good. Um, but yeah, as we wait for oh, I think it's sorry, you guys probably are on ad. But yeah, just waiting for the everyone to sit down. Looks like there's still some delays, but as soon as we get information, we'll be sharing. Okay. Okay, so they're still having some issues. Looks like with the whole mandate situation. Let me see what is going on. or looks like they're gonna pull up an E sub. Let me pull the roster here sheet real quick. So silver. Oh, iris. Okay, so yeah, looks like they're gonna try to find for an E sub because of the mid laner from the side of Son doesn't have the required um, number of matches. I'm just a little confused because I thought that even if you don't if you don't have your games, you would end up you would lose bans anyway. So I'm not sure what is. Okay, so let me check something here that I just received. Oh no, I do have this. Yeah, okay. So just confirming, it looks like if you don't have the games for the solo queue games for this week, you can't play. You're ineligible, so they need to find a an e-sub. And I just checked here some messages from staff. So the actual game start was 8:05. So we're looking at game one FF in 5 minutes at 8:20. So we're pretty much on a timer based on tardiness. So let's see what happens because there's a. Okay. So just to clarify, their Shadow needs to find an E-sub. Otherwise, they're not gonna have five eligible players to play. And If they don't find one in the next 3 to 4 minutes at 8:20, game one will be FF'd, and by 8:15, or sorry, 8:35, I'm sorry, 8:35 would be a series FF if that happens. So let's see. I did see some messages about their sub player. I don't know if he's gonna be eligible, but let's see. But yeah, um, but yeah, sorry about that. I'm sorry about the delay, but it looks like there we had an issue here with some stuff with the roster. Um, Hopefully everything's gonna get settled. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on be right back real quick so you guys can enjoy some music here from our side, and when everything's ready and start to go for draft, if we go to draft, um, I'll bring us back and I'll keep you guys updated as well if we will have an FF series or a game or what. I'll definitely keep you guys updated, but I'm just gonna put on be right back and see how things go. Okay, just a reminder is 8:20. They haven't found any sub yet. So game one will be an FF match for subsidize penumbral. Sadly, it happened this way, but we definitely need to keep at the rules for the league. So just confirming right now as one new. So now we're just going to be waiting to see if they can find someone within the next 14 minutes. Otherwise, it's going to be a forfeit series. And we'll be right back. Okay, sorry for the long delay again. Just an update here. It looks like they may have found Anissa, but they're still doing some final checks to make sure that he's eligible. But it may be that he is not eligible. So probably gonna have to do a little bit more of waiting before we can actually jump into action, and hopefully we jump into any action at all tonight. Um, so let's see. I'll try to bring any more news about this. Okay, so I'm back again. It looks like they may have found a person that is eligible. Um, just finish. I think they're just finishing up the bringing him to the server, making sure he has the correct role. They do have. They do need 6 minutes to get the person online, I believe. Oh, we got kicked out of the. We got kicked out of the custom game because we're waiting for almost 30 for actually for over 30 minutes. So just waiting for everyone to jump in. But hopefully we're gonna start in the next few minutes as long as everybody be a bit quick about it. So we're gonna have at least a game to watch, if not two, for tonight. Justin, thanks for the follow, man. I'm much appreciated, and you are the very first on the Hour Saga to go to 1,000 followers. So we will hopefully we'll get to have a game tonight. I'm actually excited. Um, let me recheck how. Let me recheck here to see how much of a change this could impact on the Suns team. So their mid laner. So they used two mid laners. They used Fui Fui on the first week, and they used Diego's taking LP on the second week. And they played Lissandra and Swain the first week, and then Silas and Victor. So hard to see how much it's gonna be similar. But let's see. So let me see what's going on. So they, because of the ESUB, they're probably gonna lose a couple bands, but they will have a side selection for this. Hold on a second. Okay, so looks like we have a few issues here on the in-game chat. We'll skip those, but hopefully we get. Looks like they're getting close from starting draft, but there are definitely a few things happening. Okay, we'll be getting the draft link soon, and we can actually go for it. Yep. So just waiting for the draft, and then we get to some action because we will have at least one game of action. So again, I really apologize for the delays, um, and everything. So just confirming, Son Hydra will lose two bans for every game Sina plays. Sina is their e-sub for tonight, so we'll definitely get those games in. So just give us a few minutes until we can actually go to the draft, and hopefully we can have some fun on this awkward situation for tonight. Hopefully we don't have to face this again, but I hope it's a bit of an understanding, a little bit of understanding here. Okay, so yeah, they're still defining site selection, but we should be ready at any time now. Okay, so they're gonna go with red side. They definitely played three red side games so far, um, and so it's very understandable that they would want to keep at that. Okay, so we're getting the draft links, and I'm gonna put on the stream as soon as we get, and let me also update the score. We're gonna start at 1-0 because of the FF for game one. We got your spec. I'm gonna put on the link here on the screen. Okay, so we're definitely gonna get a game. So we are okay. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. So they're starting draft, and nice. We actually have a game here, ladies and gentlemen. No more waiting. We are. Wait, what the? We are ready here to start. Okay. So I see Draven is banned from the side of ETP, which makes sense based on what Gumayushi has played as an ADC. They have banned the last two bans were on him. Um, Cheto, now the Aatrox, which is pretty strong in the patch, and I think it's a if you're good at it, it's a probably good blind pick overall. Remembering that Son Shadow Wizard is losing the first two bans, so we're not gonna see those right there. And Kaisa to finalize, so looks like our ATP is not gonna focus on that Kaisa, although the Kaisa is one of the strongest champions in the patch right now for ADC, and as expected, at least the Mastery getting banned from Source, I believe. So from the standard bans against ETP, the Jax, the Seraphine, ASOL, the action is open. But let's see what the priority is for the team. I would imagine it. Oh, so it's just Tristana. I think if you're a good Tristana player, there's so much what you can do. I personally am not, so I try to avoid in the mid lane. But she is a good flex. She deals pretty well with most mid laners. Um, she gets the solo XP, solo gold, so pretty good for scaling. And she's pretty safe as well with jump, rocket after 6. So Rel on the side of Shadow Wizard, also pretty good pick. One of the strong, one of the strongest champions here on the support side. Very good, but and flex too because she can still go jungle. So I wonder what Shadow Wizard is planning for this match. And Zaya, interesting. Okay, Zaya probably not there as one of the best ADCs, but I still think she's a pretty solid one. She's always gonna be good and useful, especially in team comp. So let's see what ETP is cooking now. Oh, the Jax. Okay, so Jax is open, but blinding. It's I don't know. It's a bit awkward. I'm pretty sure he's good. He's a good blind, but you need to probably I don't know. It's kind of awkward because I would imagine you want to take the Kennen out. You don't want to have that matchup, Kennen to Jax or even Gragas, which it's okay matchup the Gragas, but I don't think it's that easy unless you're really good at it. So you need to wait until you outskill the Gragas sustain to be able to win the silence. But Kennen is the most difficult one and trickier to deal with. And as expected, the Seraphine again going for the third match that we picked the Seraphine, which is an interesting. Ooh, Poppy answer. So Poppy into Jackson Tristana, interesting counter. Now the question is this Poppy jungle or top? That's gonna be a big thing. So I would still keep the flexibility open between Rel and Poppy. Okay, so Sun Shadow is thinking about the Udyr ban, which I do agree. Sorcerer has played a lot of the Udyr, and remembering that the Jax is also a champion that he plays in the jungle, so that Jax could be going jungle is a flex. So the Tryndamere is out. That is the first ban of Tryndamere against the Shadow Wizard team. Let's see what the final bans are here. Orn, I like banning Orn because you're saying, hey, you're picking this Jax into jungle, right? And Wilmath Wilmath for food, he has played Orn for 4 games. He is pretty much almost like a one trick Orn. So, and I didn't see any other teams taking this out. And Orn is just such a good scaling. I like the Lissandra Ben. Make sure you don't have the pick potential. She's pretty strong right now. Shadow Wizard, they take the blinding Ace Soul. Well, maybe not a blind because Seraphine can be flex mid. So you kind of say, hey, this Seraphine could be mid, even though you're seeing Tristana. That could be like an easy lane. But at the same time, if you're picking Aesol into Tristana, then I think it's a rough time for Aesol because Tristana can do so much in the early game against Aesol. So we see an Olaf. Okay, interesting. He's just gonna sprint at you, and if Aesol doesn't have the fly, he's just gonna get him easily. Go through Rel, go through Poppy, and Alistar. So Alistar. Okay, so it's still flexible. Seraphine with Tristana, but I'm thinking this is Seraphine mid to empower the Jax, to empower the Olaf, to empower the Tristana. That's what I'm thinking. And a counter Fiora, which is good, but it's a skill matchup. I don't know about Camille. It's still a skill matchup, but I think it's way more difficult to deal as Camille into Olaf. Because Olaf can just ignore your ult with his ult. Okay, so Bazik took Camille into Olaf. Very interesting stuff, but at the same time a little questionable because it's not that easy to play, in my opinion. Um, because all of this counter a little bit the CC post, the hook shot. It like post level 6. It counters a little bit of her movement. Okay, so ETP is confirming that the order is Olaf, Jax, Tristana, Surfing, and Alistar. So it's Tristana mid. Um, Surfing gonna have a slower start with Alistar, but should be able to survive the 2v2 bot. Looks like they're R for game, and we're gonna go for game. Okay, so we're going late into game. So let's talk a little bit about here. From the side of Shadow Wizard, I don't like much of the Camille. She definitely outscales the Olaf later on, but the problem is getting to that part. I think it's a bit. It's gonna be a bit difficult. Um, I don't I think the Poppy is fine. She's gonna be able to take the Jax out, the Alistair out. They're gonna definitely gonna need to play on around the Olaf's ult to take him out afterwards. They do have a good team fight, good scaling, good pick potential with Rel. I think Rel can be pretty dangerous here because if you pick Seraphine, you're gonna lose a lot of your PON ability to turn. Um, but at the same time, you can possibly have like a good time with Tristana and Olaf. You know, from this like they can both do side lanes and they can both like be safe and just like jump in at this last second. Um, so I think it's more difficult for ETP's composition to play because you have Alistar and Olaf jumping in to Jax, and Tristana is gonna jump in after everything's used, after Zaya used his ult, after Rel ulted, Asol ulted. Um, so I can definitely see a more difficult composition, but they pretty much is just they want to fight, but they want skirmish more than fight, in my opinion. But they also have potential to 1-3-1 where Shadow Wizard doesn't. They're more for team fights and maybe a 1-4 with Camille later on. Um, but again, this is always speculation. At this level, we're talking about master players, diamond to master players. So at this level, there's a lot that needs to be discussed or needs to be reviewed because these guys are much better mechanically. Their decisions are much better overall. Their rotations, their thoughts, their tactics. So it's really gonna come up to how they're gonna apply these on the map. I do see a potential of a stronger early game from the side of Shadow. Yeah, Shadow Wizard with Rel, Poppy, playing that bot lane, playing the top lane. That top lane is gonna be really important. I do think that ETP wins the 2v2 top with Jax and Olaf. Like level 3 to level 6. Actually, level 5. I think level 6 might be a little more difficult. And they have the potential to, eliminate one with Poppy's ult and just focus target on 2v1. That's also possible. So, late game also, I think Shadow has a better overall late game as long as they don't get overwhelmed in the early to mid game. but I think ETP Strike is definitely the mid game. They have potential to make plays. I don't think it's as good as Shadow with the Rel and Camille, but they definitely have the potential to snowball the game with Olaf and Tristana into these ASO. But anyway, this is all speculation from my side. I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, we really have to wait and see this game how it's gonna turn out to be. Now, I'm really excited to watch the evolution from ETP from 2 weeks ago. Last week we covered ET Blood Moon, so I want to see how good these guys are gonna perform. They went from a 2 from an 0-2 to 1-2, and now we can get to see them back at it again. So they're still doing the drafting thing. So we're gonna take a couple of minutes. I'm gonna put you guys on a small break, and we will be back before we jump into game. So stay tuned. We'll be right back, and game 2 is gonna start very soon. Hello, and we are back. Let's see if I can bring the game. Oh, perfect. Game is here. Hello, we are back, and actually, we have a surprise. They swapped Rail with Poppy, so they kept it as a flex, and they kept Poppy to face the Alistar in the bot lane. So, very interesting to see how this is going to shape up, but I think it does feel more of a. Um, I wouldn't say weaker, but I would say more protective because the Poppy is gonna stop the Alistar engage, but I don't think ETP's bot lane would want to be engaging with Seraphine mid, or sorry, with Seraphine in the bot lane. So we'll have to see how this shapes out, but I do see we have some warding in the bot side, in the bush, warding from Mask, and then he completely changed to um, I forgot the Oracle lenses. Now we see Wilmeth for food invading the rail with the Olaf. He ghosted it as the Camille comes. Source Walker getting level 2 on the Raptors. And Olaf doing what Olaf likes to do, smashing the early, jumps in, stops. Will gets, no, he doesn't get, oh, he gets the X reset, but he doesn't get the kill. They will be able to invade. Trishana gets mid push here. Um, Camille's gonna reset. Oh, Camille's not gonna reset. The Rel's gonna reset. Pretty low with early. Now she has to go bot side because it's pretty much doomed. Jax gets the red buff. Camille's gonna be ahead on XP because that top lane, she's gonna catch all that XP. Very interesting play here to keep Source ahead, but we had a first blood in the bot lane. We had two summoners on the Alistar and all four summoners used on Shadow's bot lane. Very opposing what I was expecting to see, but I guess they played for level 2. So let's see, Super Shakes doing a lot of damage on Cena. He trading. He was able to ward on the blue side. They know light started on the blue side. Um, they know exactly what his rotation is going to be, what he's going to be doing for the next 1 minute and a half, give or take. Now we see Poppy showing up in the mid lane, waiting for Super Shakes to jump into Cena again with that Tristana. Top side is level 3 to level 2 for Camille. Um, now, let's see. Source Walker walking towards the top side. He pops the bloom. He's going to catch the Scuttle Crab. Camille has a slow push. She's going to try to crash here. It's a big way for Olaf to try to fight. He is halfway through level 3. Camille got level 4. Jack secures the crab on the top side. And he has all his bot sides yet to farm, and he hasn't lost anything. So it's a good start, but the Jax hasn't capitalized on his. Oh, he's gonna go for a reset. Okay, so he's going for a reset. He's gonna give Light time to make a play because he's gonna be able to see that nobody's there in the bot lane. He's going to start the red. I don't know if Jax gets here on time. So that invade on the top side to delay the rel may not be super useful because he hasn't capitalized that by farming. Tristan is going for a reset, so he's going to at least be just one. Yeah, it's going to be 1 for 1. So Rel is looking bot side. There's a crash here. You see Tristan jumping. In the meantime, he gets a lot of damage. So it's there's a okay. So Rel is resetting. They're not going to do anything here. Jax is here as well to cover. It's a 1 for 1. Actually, no. There's going to be a 3v3 here. Source Walk is face checking the Rel. Goes in the Alistar, Gumayushi. Now Source Walk comes in. There's a Seraphine there. Oh, there's a lot of damage from Poppy. Muffy Man. Invis Joy kills Light. Source Walker, Invis Joy. Tristana comes. Source Walk gets the kill. Mask doesn't kill Muffy Man. Poppy is now in a very weird spot. But she does have boots. Jax doesn't have. Jax has Q. Mask is going to the second turret, and he's going to. He doesn't die. Oh, he managed to cross. He's gonna execute on the other side. No, he's gonna reset. So he's gonna reset. Olaf is doing Olaf things. Olaf's managed to crash a big wave. Ends up dying, getting another wave. So he's gonna get a good reset. He died before on level 5, so his death actually is pretty fast. So it's a good start. Camille does get the kill. Ives and Joy wasted a little bit of time chasing the Poppy without boots, but she does TP, so she still catches that wave. A lot happened here on this first 6 minutes on that last rotation, the 3v3, very interesting, and we have a pause. Whew. So we can catch a break a little bit, but things moved a little fast. Overall, Rel is not so far behind on Jax. He does get the kill. He is 300 gold behind. Olaf is just 100 gold with that kill that went for Camille. We have a one wave on Seraphine, but she did get a kill, resulting overall 300 gold lead. Um, 400 gold lead into the mid lane, but Asol is gonna get that farm right now. Oh, I can't. Okay. Um, but yeah, very interesting start. I like the start. They didn't get a kill, but they delayed the start from the rail. But if I don't know, like obviously I'm not at this level, but my thoughts process would be I think the Source Walk would have to farm his whole like do a completely up to down farm everything, and then he's gonna be able to capitalize the two camps that he stole. Um, because since he reset it on Wolves, Light managed to steal that red buff back and not be too far behind. He should have definitely just let the bounce of the mid of the bot in that last play. Instead, they gave two for nothing, and they actually they accelerate Seraphine's game because Seraphine wants to accelerate her game to be more useful, right? So I don't know. I feel like there were a couple mistakes for both teams, but overall a good start from ETP. Um, Now I wonder how things will go, especially on the top side, because Camille still has TP. She's 6. Olaf does not have TP. Need to be really careful there. Um, it's still two for two because Seraphine does have her TP. But Camille hasn't reset, so she hasn't collected all that gold. She has 1400 to buy. So I wonder here with Olaf coming in, how much is gonna like on the next wave? How much is going to be? Uh, how the lane is gonna shape out because they're quite even. I think Camille might. I don't know if he's gonna come with a Tiamat, but I would imagine maybe going for Divine Thunder, so a Shin, maybe some armor, boots for move speed. Because once Olaf gets 6, I think he wants to fight. Once he gets 6, he's just gonna go berserk, go all in, and try to kill Basic. Um, let's see. So looks like mid had a DC there, just to confirm. Looks like I'll try to keep the chat off as much as I can. There's some discussions between having happening between the teams. Um, we'll talk with admins for that later. We'll focus on the game, but I believe there's a time limit on the pause. Let me check here real quick for time limitations. Okay, so let's see pauses. Okay, so it's Okay, okay, so that's what I want to say. Each team is allowed 20 minutes of technical difficulty time per match. Okay, so they have up to 20 minutes for a pause. Um, and they can only pause 3 times per game. So we have been 5 minutes into this pause from ETP. They need to solve this within the next 15 minutes, otherwise it will be unpaused, and they won't have any pause time left for this game. So hopefully it's not going to be anything serious. Hopefully they get to come back, but right now we're seeing a 900 gold lead for the side of ATP. Um, a good lead on the jacks. A couple hundred gold on the jacks, a couple hundred on Tristana, and a couple hundred on surfing. So you want your carries to have that extra gold to accelerate the game. Tristana, she still has the pace. She might go with that wave that she tried to crash. She might do a reset. 53 stacks on the coal. So she's gonna have something good to buy. She has 1600. Um, Not sure if she's gonna go with boots or we're gonna go with zeal or something like that, or quiver. Also not a possibility. We see that Seraphina already has her moon, her lost chapter. She she does okay. So this is interesting. She came with presence of mind and coup de grace. Um, I think a little questionable on that end because coup de grace. I mean, Seraphina's not known for one-shotting players, right? Or executing with her abilities. She can do a lot of damage, but she's more like constant damage, slowly but constantly damage, and provide that a little bit of utility, right? So I don't know how much I like this. Um, Also, the presence of mind is a bit questionable for her to stay in lane, but she already has mana flow. Um, yeah, she already has mana flow, so I don't know about that. I would much rather see futures market and cosmic insight because you definitely want to get the more flashes so you're safer. You want to reduce your TP timer so you can use your TP a bit more freely, and also you want to get the futures market so you can get your lost chapter earlier. Um, so it's an option, but those are my thoughts on it. On the other hand, let's see what we have. We have Conquerors on Olaf with Biscuits and Approach Velocity. Very strong. Jax with Cosmic Insight and Magical Footwear with Lethal Tempo. Tristana with Lethal Tempo over Heal. Interesting. Alacrity, Coup de Grace, and she's going to Demolish and Second Wind. Interesting. So we're going to probably see this Tristana focus on split push mid to late game, probably. And Alistar going more uh, with the Glacial Augment for the extra utility. And Biscuits to keep his laning safe, as well as his inflation and conditioning versus Poppy. On the side of Poppy, we're seeing a more tanky approach with Hextech and Cosmic Insight. So more more tankiness and less utility. Um, Little on the side of Zaya and Boots and Biscuits for laning phase. That's interesting choice. The Aesop probably okay. So he's stacking with Minion Dematerializer and Magical Boots. Interesting choices, but I definitely also would prefer the what's it called. I would personally prefer the futures market just so you can get that um, lost chapter as soon as possible. So if he could have his lost chapter already and be safer in lane, be more useful as well early. And Rail also good for more tankiness because she has aftershock, hextech flash, cosmic insight to get that flash back as soon as possible, and grasp on Camille with biscuits for the laning phase. So very interesting choices of rune. I would definitely like to see how things go. Let's take a quick check. Okay, so looks like they're okay. So looks like they're ready, and yes, we're back. So that was like 11 minutes of pause. So we have only 9 minutes left for the side of ETP. So hopefully no more pauses, and we're back into the action. So we're seeing, oops, that's a spiky delay. Apologies. Okay, so I just gave like a 15 seconds buffer. So we're seeing Olaf coming to top lane. I want to see how he's gonna play this. He is not close from 6. Camille is 6, and she's closer to 7. He is definitely fighting. She has TP. He does not. So Jax is pathing topside though. He can definitely try to push, and that's what he's looking for. She's looking to push. Alistair's coming up at 640. It's a bit too early for Herald. We see Camille's TP coming in. Olaf got 6. So are they gonna make a play on Camille on the bounce of the wave? Shadow Wizard is looking for a possible Drake. No, they're returning bot and jungle. Just securing crab. Okay, now 6. We see Jax and Alistair coming up top. They're trying to. Looks like he's gonna set up a push here. They're gonna try to look for a dive on Camille. Rail is okay, so they're going for the invade. Rail is back at the top. They haven't gone for the Drake. They think they're in the Drake. Or ATP thinks Shadow is in Drake with the pings. They have vision on Rail while they steal the red buff here. Looks like there's gonna be a play onto Rail. Oh, Muffy Man, he whiffed the combo. He whiffed the combo. Rail survives. We see Poppy coming in mid to possibly make a play into Tristana. Bot is trading CS as expected. Olaf is catching the wave, doing some proxy. Nothing that Camille is going to be able to do against. Okay, so she came with Ruby Crystal. Now they're trading Drake for Herald. The first Drake is Hextech Drake. Now more trade here on the top side. Wilmaf whiffs his Olaf axes, but he probably is gonna go for a reset. He's really low, but Zik is fine in lane. She's gonna catch up this CS. It's 8 minutes and 43, 75 to 57. Interesting. Now we see Tristana Super Shakes doing damage on Sina or Sina. It is for okay, so they just trade some 81 to 65 in the mid lane. So jungle and bot even on CS, a little bit of ahead in top and mid for ETP. Now we're looking at a 1k gold lead. Let's see how the plates is gonna work. So your son jumps in again. Scene is real low. Super Shakes has to be careful. We have Mask, Light, and Bazik showing up. Okay, so Bazik showing up on the ward. They know he's around. We don't have vision on the bot side. They already pinged. Light. Oh, she jumps in. She gets the kill. Oh, okay. She's dead. Light gets the kill. She tries to kill. She tries to W back to jump back, but the Poppy just stops with her W. We see Proxy on the top side with Olaf. They traded 1 for 1. Good for Tristana. Neither of them have TP, but the wave's gonna bounce here for her side, and she has a what is this? 19 CS advantage at 10 minutes. She completed her item, the Krakens. Um, Asol buys stopwatch. That's an interesting buy. He goes for Lost Chapter and stopwatch. So I'm still wondering what Source Walker's gonna do with that Herald. He's hovering the top side. Wilmath is trying to fight. He has no mana. Bazik is applying well the auto attack with a true damage. We're seeing some. Oh, Muffy. He's walking. Surfing got stunned. She survives. Oh, nice ult, but she's just okay. So they're just stalling light there. They're gonna go for a dive into Camille. Tristan is there. Nice ult and flash by Camille. They tank the turret. Super shakes. They go for it and they get the kill. Massive play on the top side. Tristana gets a kill. They get first turret, 4 plates. Very well played by the side of ETP. Um, Acel tries to trade a little bit into mid, but he still hasn't got even a plate. He's gonna get 1 plate at least. In the bot side, Seraphine didn't even flash in the last play. So, didn't really work the trade-off from a Shadow Wizard on the bot side. They managed to do a 3v2 with no issues at all. Still same CS on the bot, and ETP comes ahead right now, getting another 1.2k gold on top of what they had lead. So good start, good place here. Um, let's check what's going on. And looks like we had. Oh, sorry, I was checking something that popped up here. But yeah, Tristana looks like got obliterated with the Poppy, giving a shutdown to the Aesop. Very important for Shadow Wizard. They're setting up for second Drake with Tristana dead. She does have TP. They can still do a 4v4, but Camille is walking down, and she does have TP as well. So she's probably gonna walk, try to fight a 5v4, TP back on top side to catch that wave or stop Olaf from taking tier 2. Let's see what happens. And looks like the only way to catch this Tristana mid is a combination with Poppy W. So they go for the damage, they get damage on Muffy Man, a lot of damage from Yasuo. Poppy used her W to get move speed and walk away. She does have steel caps, so tier 2 boots completed. Seraphine has her first item, Divine Sunder on Jax, Divine Sunder and Camille. Olaf walked down. Olaf doesn't have full item. Evershroud's on the. Oh, nice ult by Poppy. They take Olaf, they take Jax. Muffin pays the price. And well executed by Mask there on the Poppy's ult. They guarantee second Drake. And okay, so Camille does TP in. So they don't fight, they just remove people out of the fight, guarantee with number advantage, and just get a pick on Alistar. Very well played by the side of Shadow there. Executed well, even if they're behind in gold, they secure the second Drake. And this is an Inferno Soul. This is really good for both teams. Good for Olaf, good for Jax, good for Tristana, good for Seraphine. From the side of Shadow, also really good for Aesop, really good for Zaya, Camille. Super Shake's trying to punish Cena as much as possible. Cena has upgraded Level 2, Poppy's here to contest the jump, ult. He flashed away, doesn't get the ult, nice ult by Cena. Wilma for foods and stopwatch. He doesn't get the axe. Wilma for food doesn't get the axe in. The stopwatch saves Asaw. Silver shakes. He gets solo killed by Mask. Silver shakes, taking his lead and losing it. He tried to make it a play on Asaw. Mask was there to punish him. Being able to play pretty well, Mask. Stopping Tristanas from jumping. Um, she did use Flash before, otherwise she would have died for Asaw's E. Now, let's see Source Walker. It's a 3v3 until Olaf shows up. We're gonna try to punish Mask. Olaf is coming. He doesn't have ult. Source Walker is that he dies. Silver Shakes shows up. Cena shows up. This is not looking good for Movement for Food. Jumps in. Tristana gets a reset. Pops out. Nice ult by Seraphine. But there's no more damage. Okay, so they're gonna lose the Herald, but they managed to scrape some kills there. But now we're seeing the powerful side of this comp from Shadow Wizard with a lot of CC um, coming from the Poppy, coming from the Rel, buying enough time for the damage from Camille and Azul to come in. So they managed to get a kill back on Tristana. She's still strong. So we have a 1.2k gold advantage on Tristana, but we have a lead on Rel. Camille is even in gold with Olaf, and also pretty even on the bot side. So all that lead, it's now between is on Tristana, and she needs to be really careful because if Poppy gets near her, she needs to. She can't. If she doesn't have flash, it's gonna be really hard for her to deal with Poppy because if he tries to jump, gonna get the jump cancelled, gonna get CC'd, and so on. So it needs to play pretty well from now on, and they need to have vision on Poppy because Poppy is making a lot of difference on this mid game, making plays on Tristana twice, um, actually 3 times making plays on Tristana, getting 3 kills on her. So let's see. But overall, Super Shakes are able to compete against Cena, putting a lot of pressure here on the lane. Now we need to see like what Light is going to be able to do with that Herald. They are also tied in CS in the jungle, but they do have a lot more pressure, and I do think they have a little bit of a better scaling compared to ETP. I think ETP had a good start, but a couple bad decisions in a couple plays, but they also haven't been able to apply the whole pressure on Olaf. They got a good lead early, but that didn't really translate much at this time. It's 18 minutes. They're pretty much even in gold, but XP wise, they actually managed to be at the same XP level now because Olaf was almost like a full level behind in XP. Now they're just playing for the next drink, the third drink. Olaf showing up in the mid. Looks like they're trying to set up something. Light is here to make like a counter play. We see a TP coming from Camille. They're looking to make a play. They're definitely looking to fight this Drake that spawns in 5 seconds. It's going to be the first Infernal Drake. Wilma for food is trying to be the front line there. We see Tristana showing up on a flank into Camille. That's awkward. She needs to be really careful. Now Drake is 4k. Camille goes into Tristana. She tries to go in. She almost gets one-shotted. Now Olaf's going to the back line. He doesn't get Gumayushi. He ends up getting killed. Use his ult. No ult on the Camille. Camille goes into Super Shakes, gets the kill. Now it's a 5v3. Alistar dies as well, and nothing they can do. So Shadow Wizard have another play where they go ahead, they get better positioning. Their comp making a lot of difference here in this match. The Rel doing a lot, keeping the Olaf or buying time until Olaf ults run out, so he doesn't get into Zaya. They get the third trick, so point 19 minutes, 20 minutes actually. They get tier 1 top or tier 1 mid. They're gonna get second charge of their Herald? No, they don't. So now it's 1.2k gold in favor of Shadow Wizard Gaming. Bounties on Poppy, Rel, and Camille, all strong champions right now. Camille with 2 items starting to outscale the Olaf, which he had a good game, but it does feel like he's not too comfortable on it, because a couple times we could see like it kind of feels like there was some hesitation on when to go in, when to use his ult. Um, Also bad position on Silver Shakes, trying to get a flank angle and getting caught by Camille. There was no one there to build for him. So Jack's trying to jump in into the back line and getting stopped. So this is the comp from ETP is a lot more, as we said, it is um, a lot more difficult to be executed, in my opinion. So they managed to get the early game good, but not good enough. Like they didn't get a solid lead, and the team from Shadow Gaming was able to come back. Now I do think they still have pressure in the side lanes between Tristana and Aesol, so they can still try to force something there. But let's see how that's gonna work, because I think Olaf now should be losing to Camille. He has 1.5 item. Camille already has 2 items. Camille doesn't have the boots, but still, I think at this point Camille is able to deal with Olaf, and Light is coming to support him. We have Poppy also coming in. They have good vision, but they don't get anything. They're still forcing. Shadow is still forcing the play top. Nice combo by Basic. Chunks a lot the Olaf with the true damage. Now Zai is coming in. They're looking for a dive. It's a 4v3. We see Tristan jumping into Aesol. She's gonna get the solo kill. She gets the solo kill, gets out, and nothing happens on that top side. Son falls back. Olaf gets the wave, and very nice play by Super Shakes, getting that solo kill, being confident, going in. Now gathering that wave and possibly getting that tier 1 bot. Now there is still a pretty good. There are ways to win the game. They still have a Seraphine that's scaling, um, which is pretty good with the Olaf. You know, boosting him up, like Olaf extending her ult, helping Tristan, and also Tristan on silence being extremely strong. She has the demolish, so if you give her time, she will definitely take those turrets. Aesol definitely needs to take care, because he's not going to finish Zonius second. He's going for Archangels. So he got the large rod. So he's definitely gonna be selling that Doran's shield on the next buy, and trying to either get the health item or probably finishing up the Archangel's staff. And by that time, he is going to hope to have completed the stacking of the tier to be able to have the Seraphines completed. Because Seraphine's Angel is going to be a lot more impactful than the Archangel on its own. So it's 6-11. The gold is pretty even. It's 500 gold lead at 24 minutes, so it's not much. Soul fight coming in 35 seconds. Olaf has 2 items. Jax has 2 items with Cleaver. Tristana has a BF on top of 2 items, so 2.5 items. Seraphine just completed her Rylai's. Ghost on Olaf, he goes into Light. He goes in, he ults, and he goes into the Aesol. He's gonna get the Aesol. Doesn't get the reset of the nice flash, dodgy Camille. Goes in Light. Tristan is there doing the damage. Nice ult by Ivy's Enjoy on the Seraphine. Not a Moon. Alistar is just sent out from the mask, but he dies on the Poppy. They get the jungler, they get the fight, they're gonna get their first Drake, their first Infernal Drake, and that's the power of the comp from ETP, managing to get that, breaking how Shadow Light is gonna, or Shadow Wizard is gonna fight. They remove Acer from the fight early. They don't get the kill, but he's just so low that it's gonna be too hard for him to fight to come back. And they managed to do a beautiful 4v5 and capitalize on a um, couple shutdowns. Now Bazik is trying to play Silver Shakes in that bot lane. Silver's push this wave is gonna stay. He does have ult and flash. No, he just pushes in, goes to reset. But Zeke is still looking. They don't have vision. He just falls back. Now it's going to be Baron play. Now we're going to need to see how these teams are going to play for the Baron. A lot of vision from the side of Shadow Wizard. Okay, so Spec. They just got the Scarecrow Crab. They have a good C ward on the jungle side of ETP. They have a nice ward behind the river, the large wall there. Now Olaf is going too far front. He ults. He focused Poppy now. He doesn't have flash. He is gonna die. He gets some. They get okay. So they charm the ASOL. They're gonna go into ASOL. Swords Walker gets the kill. Poppy flashes away. Tristana jumps into Kai on Zaya. She gets the reset. She kills. Oh, double kill on the Jax. Shut down for Tristana. They get light. There's nothing Bazik can do on that Camille, and they go for the Baron. Double kill on Tristana, double kill on Jax. Really well played there. Now showing up the strength of Tristana, Silver Sakes. Not being afraid of jumping on top of that Zaya. Not being afraid to jump on top of that Rel. Wilmath for food. Goes deep a little bit. Bazik tries to trade tier 2, but not going to be able to. Yes, he will be able to catch tier 2 mid and capitalize a little bit. Now this is a good play by ATP, getting back to the game. Seraphine being very useful there. With Buffer Food, bought a lot of time. I don't know about, he didn't really deal the damage. I mean, he's going maybe Steric's third item. He has a Jack Shows for Mythic, but he just went in too early. But it bought enough time, got Sinus ult on top of him. Sky Descent from ASOL instead of on top of his teammates, and then Tristana and Jax just cleaned up after him. Really, really well played. Now we're gonna have to see. We're seeing like a 1-3-1 setup right now. Olaf does not have flash. Does not have Baron. He goes in, goes deep. He takes 2 true damage shots. Gonna take another one, and Bazik is gonna show. He's gonna not shut down, but he's gonna destroy that Olaf. There's nothing he can do now. He tried to go all in, got kind of back a little bit. Before he went all in, Camille did a lot of true damage on him on the Olaf, like 2 true damage hits. They did manage to get tier 2 bot with Tristana. They're going for tier 1 mid. They're gonna try to go tier 2 mid. Camille's gonna try to answer tier 2 top side, but looks like ETP is resetting. They're gonna try to fall back to protect tier 2. That's what they're doing. Camille is falling back, so a little bit of tactics here, because it's gonna be hard for Olaf to face this Camille now. She's gonna go for her third item, which looks to be Sterex. Same for Olaf, so he's gonna try to buy time. We have Drake fight in a minute. Olaf is gonna push that top side. Camille has TP. Now she can start to abuse of that split butt pressure. I wanna see Tristana looks like it's. I don't think Tristana should face Camille by any chance. But it's gonna be hard for her to put pressure when they're fighting right now. So they still have some time on the buff, on the Baron buff. They're gonna try to set up here. We can see the Olaf is walking towards mid, so they're gonna try probably to trade tier 2 top for a second Drake because this is still a soul fight, and try to keep a prio mid. There's a slow push on the bot side. Camille's probably gonna try to look into TP. There's good vision from the side of ETP. We see Olaf backing down now. Mask Poppy is gonna try to stop. In he gets. He stops the Olaf back. Tristana go for the TP. Light's gonna try to stop him. No, no, no. No, Seraphine TP's in. Okay, Seraphine TP stops the tier 3 base rush from Camille. And we got a specky hit here. Camille's looking for a flank. Super Shake's gotta watch out. She goes in. Alistar takes him. Oh, he's managed to get the ult. Goes in deep. Poppy ults. Oh, nice flash by Camille. Gets Super Shakes. Nice ult by Poppy. Olaf tries to get inside. Source Walker's now in. He gonna kill Basilic. He survives. Oh, Muffy Man dies. Shadow. They're gonna be able to fight back. Olaf is get kited. I'm so bad at this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so bad at play-by-play. But they managed to get 3 kills. Nice play by Bazik on the Camille. Hook into flash on Tristana. Gets the kill. Source Walker. It sent flew away from Poppy's ult and can't capitalize as fast as possible. So things are looking still even. Both teams have good team fight moments. It's all gonna be based on how they're gonna be able to play the team fights, positioning, and this time Bazik was able to do more there with a flank. He doesn't have flash now, so it makes things a bit easier for Super Shakes that does have flash. But on the other side, the Olaf cannot deal with this Camille on the side lane. She is getting close for third item. I don't know if she's going. She could have been well, they're going for the same. Okay, so she's 3 items and a half. So she has 3 items and a half. 1 item more than Olaf. Olaf doesn't even have a Styrex. And looks like it might be Hull Breaker. I don't know if she's gonna go full breaker and just focus on split push, but that's what it might be. Tristana has a stopwatch. That's a good buy. We see 4 top side. I don't think. Oh, she gets. Okay, so they get a pick into Olaf. He just. Okay, he goes away and ulted. They have 4 top side. They try to push top side. We're gonna have Bear in 16 seconds. Oh, Wilma Bazik comes in, facing the Tristana. She does have a lot of damage. Getting kited, getting ulted. Nice. Okay, he stopwatched. Ult for stopwatch from Camille. He managed to survive. They're trading mid for Baron. Alistar is showing up. Okay, so they're rotating now. Tristana TP's in. Okay, so they TP it in. They try to escape. Muffin Man. Olaf gets ulted away. Muffin Man buys time, but he's dying. Tristana goes in. Camille is TPing back. Okay, ult. Source Walker goes in the middle of 3. He gets killed. Gives shutdown. Oh, gives a shutdown to Zaya. Half of the team of Shadow Wizard is low, and they don't have their front line. Muffin Man died. Source Walker died. Wilma for Food died. This could be, with this Baron and Seraphine and Tristana, this could be game, because tier 2 is, they're going for tier 3 top. Tristana manages to catch the wave. She's gonna try to trade for the inhibitor mid, but I don't know. It's still 20 seconds. Well, Alistar's coming in. Okay, so they're resetting because there's potential for Tristana to end the game. So they decided to take the safest route. Woof. That's a lot happening. The game is still tied. The win conditions for ETP is still the Tristana with Source and the Seraphine, but they need to be able to catch that. So are they gonna fight for Soul? Seraphine's catching top. She does have TP. Drake is in 30 seconds. Mid is pushing in favor. It's a bit tight with inhibitors down, so super minions. So ETP is trying to shove in top side or mid and top to be able to fight for this Drake in 15 seconds. Sky Descent is upgraded on the side of ASOL. They're trying to look for a fight. Okay, so they're trying to avoid ETP to push mid. ETP is just forcing mid here. Maybe they're gonna try to end Tristana. If they tank the turrets, there's a Oh, they have they have a minion. They have a super minion there. They're going for the end. It's a base rush. Oh, nice play. The Tristana and Source Walker, they're trying to end while Invisible or Joyer and oh my god, what happened here? They went for a 3v5. They managed to stop the engage, and the super minion removed the resistance from the turret, and ETP goes for like not even a backdoor. They just said, "Okay, you take Soul, we end the game." That was very clutch at the end. What happened? I got bugged there. Like I bugged myself because the game was so even that anything could have happened, and they just decided, you're giving up mid prio. We don't want to fight Drake. We just want to go in, and that's it. That is a hell of a way of finish the game. ATP wins the game, gets the series in 2-0. Um, like I don't know. I don't have much. We Alistar had stopwatch. Source Walker had a stopwatch. Um, it's crazy. And now here on the post game stats, we do see how strong Silver Shakes was on this Tristana. 16k gold. Good game by Source Walker and Ivy's Enjoyer. They managed to get to a good scaling level. They dealt a good amount of damage, 12 and 15k. They had a lot of gold. Mooma for Food still dealt a lot of damage, considering he went he traded himself for a couple kills early and mid as well, and mid to late game as well. From the side of Shadow Wizard, 20k damage. Top damage of the game goes to Bazik on that. Camille played really well, exceptionally well. Um, Early, mid, and late game, very good picks. Rel on light also very good picks. Very useful in the game. Made they flex Rel jungle, made a lot of good things there. Early to mid game, even late game the engages were also pretty good. Cena, he did well up to a point, but I think like he played pretty. He's probably wasn't the best on his team. Had a couple difficulties dealing with the Tristana. Early and mid game. Gumiyushi, I think he played pretty well. 17k damage, dealt a lot of damage. Was pretty much even for the most part. It was really important on the team. Mask had a great game. Set up many plays, got early leads, and it was that split decision that got ETP the win, right? So, very very interesting, awesome game. Very tight game. You see 64 to 63k gold. 13 kills for ETP, 19 kills for Shadow Wizard. Just good stuff overall. I'm running out of words to say here because how this game ended, but the game ended in a very interesting state. So, congratulations to ETP. They get their first series um, in the league. They are they get the 2-0, so now they are with one victory and two losses. Um, Shadow Wizard, they are now at the bottom of the Shurima group, 0-3, and with 6 losses, so they have a deficit of 6 games on the game difference. With the win, ETP drops their -3 to -1, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check real quick. Uh, yeah, so the -3 they dropped to -1. We're gonna have to see how Nick's esports match is against Horizon Gaming Blasters to see if they're gonna be able to get a top six with this win. So wild game, wild game. Congratulations ETP, congratulations Source, Walker, and team. It was a very nice finish. I think mid mid like early game they will have good decisions. I think starting to enter the mid game there were some maybe questionable things here and there, but overall, pretty good game. There are definitely things to learn from it to improve because this is only week three, right? We still got actually not only this is almost half of the week of the regular season. Still have 4 week games to go before we can possibly enter qualifier section. So we will stay for here for tonight. I appreciate everybody who's joined in the chat today to talk, to show up, to see this, to see me blabbering for an hour and a half. I apologize for the delay. There's a couple issues in the beginning of the game, but overall, very good game, very good day for today. And just to let you guys know, we'll be back on Friday. I don't. I'm gonna check to see if we're gonna have any coasters or if it's gonna be me curving again. But on Friday, we're gonna cover AGL Week 3 with ET Solar versus Catalyst Nova, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, Team Ambition. No, yeah, Team Ambition. I'm sorry, Team Ambition Exodia versus ET Solar Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So come in. It's gonna be nice to have you guys here cheering for ET, ET all the way. So let's go, and I hope you guys have a good night. Enjoy the evening, and we'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna look to host. Um, I'm gonna bring you guys to another series because probably they're still playing. So if you guys just stay there for a few minutes, I'll bring you to another game and get to watch another match of AML for week 3. So again, have a good night, guys. Have a good week. I'll see you guys on Friday, and peace out.